Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Wednesday, the 27th of August. And this is our RTH session at thetradingsyndicate.org. Hope you were all well. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Just posting a 1-hour chart in the room there so you can see the balance. Hey, forget about it. What's going on? Welcome to the room. Alexander, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever we find you. All good. All right, folks. Well, we have a level to watch, and that level is 64.77, and it is the bottom of these single prints right here. This was a price spike that happened in the last half hour of trading in RTH. And so far, price has been accepted above that spike. So let's see what happens when the market turns itself on. Will that 64.77 level be respected? Hey, ZS, how you doing? Hey, Ronan. Hey, Moran. So you'll notice the volume is light, right? I don't think we've even cracked 100,000 contracts. Volume is light and there's really not much going on. We're just waiting for a low to get broken. Good. Hey, London, what's going on? It might take some time, for, let's see, we're going to go try that level now. Let's go dig in and see what's going on. So that level is here, 64.77. And the only reason why I'm thinking lower is because all of the inventory for the session is above us, right? We got a very tight cost basis, right? Very tight range. Hey, Buckwan, how you doing? Hey, I am listening. How you doing? See, as soon as we get down to underneath 78, the market starts to bid. We've had poor lows all night and poor high. So it's been a very difficult market to trade. The range has been very tight, very choppy. Tomorrow is month end. People got caught upside down short yesterday. Let's see. There we go. There's 77. Finally, we get a 77 print. That took all night. Till this morning. Now, as we get up to 78.5, we're going to see if the sellers step in there and take price lower. Here we go. There we go. That 78 area has been support all night. When we get back up to it, let's see if it turns into resistance. Right? And if you're shorting, or if you are short, if we get back up over 77, or I would say if we get back over that old overnight low here, right, be careful. But as long as we stay in this range, right, if you short a little bit, put some bids in so you can cover on the way down, right? If you're short against 77, put your bids in, because if you're shorting down at a low, which is, it's a difficult thing to short at a low, right? The only reason, the business reason, is that you see that sellers are engaging and pushing price down. So I use my buy orders to tell me whether or not I should be covering that short early or letting it run. So if I'm short 77 and I can't get any orders filled at 76 like just now, I'd start taking back contracts or buying them back, right? Okay, so the reasoning behind inventory is that you've gone and gotten a whole bunch of people long above this level. Okay? Does that make sense? Are you still kind of following me? Right? Everyone's been buying this level. Okay? And when you take out that low, think of that as a trap door. That door opens and all this stuff starts falling out. Right? That's why you're expecting rotation level. Now, what throws a wrench into the a wrench into the works is, what if there's a ton of people who are trapped short down here from yesterday, and they see that price go down and they all jump all over this thing and start buying it? That slows the downward progress, right? Like that green candle you see right here. That's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. Right? There is nothing random about this. Right? When you have inventory long above a certain level and you take out that level, well, think about it this way, right? If you were long at 64.85 and the market took out 64.78, would you be happy with that financial decision? Right? It's a simple question. You're long 84, the market's trading at 78. How are you feeling? Hey, hopefully you're gone, but if you're a larger trader, you're not feeling that great, so you start lightening your position, right? Before all your money is gone, right? That's what that's why you have stops. That's why you have a thesis for a trade. Because if the trade's not working, why do you stay in it? Right? So that's why you get lower rotation, right? We've had constant selling at 88 all night. But it also took the entire Globex session to fill those lower single prints. And even now, we're back in them. This is telling us In a normal market where there are no short positions, right? If there weren't that many short positions, when the market broke that level, it would have just tumbled lower, right? But it kind of crept lower and then it found a bit and woof, now it's stuck here, right? Your mental stop, right? Yeah, shorts hold up a market, right? Especially at the end of the month, especially after a large move up. Shorts are bid to cover because tomorrow is month end, okay? And that's just the business. And that's how the business works. And that's how price is influenced by the agenda of the people in the business, right? It's a business, right? We had this discussion this morning. We were talking about trading, and a lot of people on that stream didn't realize that trading was a business. It's very hard to make money trading if you don't look at it like a business. Right? You have to run a business like a business. It seems ridiculous for me to say that, but it needs to be said. Right? And it's interesting, Howard said something very interesting. He said, JJ, most people don't look at it like a business because they don't work in business. And if you have a 9 to 5 job, every day is the same. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Right? There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of risk management. Those are things that people aren't taught. So I see the difficulty. So we're going to open inside yesterday's range. Yesterday was a very, very strange day if you were noticing the price action. It was really choppy here. Off of the open, we had a little move down, but this area here, it chopped around for a long time. And then even the move higher was a slow creep. And they really got people at the end of the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we open above 64.79, that green box, according to market profilers, right? According to them, the single prints still exist. They're not filled. We have a seller at 78.75. You see right there? 1, 2, 3, 4 candles with the exact same top, right? You don't need any fancy software. You can tell that there is a seller here, 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 and here. They're the same people. They're competing. That's why price is now coming back down. That's good. We need to fill in this area down here from 68 to 76. Okay? So now let's see where the sellers will step in. So how do you trade this? Like you short 78, you put your stop above that white line, right? And as it comes down, you put some buy orders here and see if they get filled, right? I don't know about 80 right now, Alexander, but I know right here at 78.75 they're there. I'll mark that level at 80, and if we get back up there, let's go see. So you're short 78, your stop is right there where your seller is. What's the business reason for being in the trade? Because you see sellers competing and price going down. Now, what's the reason to get out of the trade? If those sellers see buyers and lift their offers up to 80, 81, there's no reason to be short. Know what I mean? Right? There's a seller at 77. Let's see how aggressive they are. It's lifting to 77 quarter. Do we get a print? Okay, it printed quarter. It printed half. It's printing 3/4. So now, when you come up to 78 and a half, 78 and 3/4, if there is no seller there, what does that tell you? It tells you the market has found buyers. Does that make sense? And that's how you can look at a 1-minute chart and get more information off a simple 1-minute chart than you can off any expensive trading software. Okay? Right? The top of the candle are where the sellers initiate and compete. How do I know that? Because that's all I've done my life is be a seller. And when I see other sellers come and start selling what I'm selling, I have to lower the price to capture the buying. Otherwise, I'm stuck with inventory that I've paid for and I can't turn it back into cash. Okay? Right? You have to turn your inventory into cash if you're long. If you're short, you have to buy back inventory in order to close out your transaction. Right? That's how you should be thinking when you're trading. You shouldn't be thinking about moving averages or indicators. You should be saying, okay, I'm short. Where should I be short down to? Where is there a likelihood of buying? You see how these 4 candles all have the same low. That means the sellers are stopping at 76 and a quarter, 76 half. I don't understand the question. Why is 78 important? Oh, well, it's 78 and a quarter actually, Richard. Top of a candle, top of a candle, top of a candle, top of a candle. The sellers are initiating there, right? The top of the singles is 79, right? So there's supply above, right? The single prints are great, but now we're underneath them. So if we open down here at 73, then those single prints are considered filled. But in Globex, if we opened here at 81 or 82 in RTH, market profile guys say that they're not filled, that they're still valid. The reason is because these cheap low prices might not last, right? So when the market opens, if we run out of supply, the Johnny on the spot traders would have gotten all the cheap supply under 79, if that makes sense. Good. Everything should make sense. It should be simple, right? Now, if we get a break of 76 and you're short up here, put your bids in, folks. Get your bids in. So we don't know how long the liquidation will last, right? It would be nice if we got down to 69, 68. If you're short 78, I'm covering here because I'm short 78, and I just got 2 left. I'll take them back here. See if I can get one at 75 and a half. Oh, I got filled at 75 and a half. So I just shorted 78 I put my stop here, and then I put my bids in and covered. Well, 76 is cheap compared to 86, isn't it, Kunj? So if you were a short, right, and you were short at 69 or 70 going into yesterday's close and you held it, maybe you added some short position up at 84, 85. When the market drops to 76, you'll start buying some back, won't you? Because it's cheap compared to 86, right? Does that make sense? Try and reason through these things. Try and talk through it. Does that help, Kunj? Look at where the market's been trading all night. Now look at it. So now it's trading like at a discount, right? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Moving right along. Yeah, it'd be good to get a nice liquidation the day before month end. See if we could break 75. Go post that 1 hour chart again. All right. Okay. All righty. Still have 4 minutes. So if we open under 77, single prints are gone. Hmm. Might be a little choppy. Okay. bottom of these zones is 71, which is right here. And if it breaks 71, you're looking for the low of M period. Right? And that is where, that's the last half hour of trading in the day. So the majority of the people are short underneath that. Right? And then they added to it here. That's why it took so long to break that level. Right? Right? Remember, the goal of the market is to get people long. Right? Right? So when they're not happy when they're long, they start to puke it out. And that's great for the short sellers because the short sellers can now cover in cheaper than what they could earlier. Right? So, tomorrow is month end. It's the last 3 days of the month. I know I sound like a broken record. Here's straight goods. If you know how to trade, do your thing, right? If you don't know how to trade, which means you're not consistently making money, size down at the end of the month so you don't blow up your account. Okay? Real simple advice. Right? If you can't figure out what to do, sit back and watch, and it'll start coming to you. Right? So we're going to open down here. If we get a move up, look for 76 and 3/4 for sellers to come in. If you're shorting and it breaks, if it keeps breaking lower and lower, we're going to be looking for 68, right? It's simple advice, eh, Derek? I mean, if you're paying your bills trading and you know what you're doing, just be smart about it and don't throw away your money. If you don't know what you're doing, sit and watch for a while. You might learn something. Right? So we got sellers at 75, right? When a market opens, it's not the easiest thing in the world to trade, right? Right? Yeah, I shorted 76, but I screwed up the buy at 74, so I had to go buy it at 75. Not the greatest trade. Try that again. Take them back again at 74 and a half. Take another one back at 73 and 3/4, but I'm taking the offer. Ooh, I got hit. Nice. Right? So, you know, there'll be some responsive buying at that overnight low. That's why it's getting front run. If that breaks, we should get a nice clean breakdown to 71. The problem is you don't know what kind of buying there is in a market until it goes and tests it, right? So we found the bid at 72, right? I should get rid of this because we opened underneath it, right? Yes, and we have NVIDIA close earnings after, we have NVIDIA earnings after the close, right? Looking for sellers at 78, right? If we take out 78, we'll be looking for 81, right? This is a rotation. We found the bid. Off of the open, we found the bid. Let's see if there's follow-through buying. If enough people got short under 77, we'll stay above 77. Watching 77. If the market is bid 77, it means a ton of people got short. If those shorts see sellers, they'll drop their bids down to 74. If they don't see sellers, they'll start taking the offer. What do I mean when I say test? Like test a level or a test trade? Which context do you mean, OJ? To go test a level or to do a test trade? If you mean test trade, it's because I use test trades to see whether or not my brain is working. When I mean test a level, it means go to that level and hit it with some order flow and see what active orders are present at that level. So for example, look at 64.77. In this candle that we're currently in, we can't trade it just yet. It stops short, right? It stops short and the offer moves higher. That means there's buyers there when you go to test it. Yeah. How do you know if you look at a level that hasn't been traded, how do you know what's down there until it's tested? Like just from the meaning of the word test, right? You know what I mean? Does that help? Like when the market went down and I said, I don't know what's down here. Well, it just showed me what's down here. The buyers came in at 72. It's just real simple, man. It's real simple, right? Nothing I say is rocket science. Okay? So when I mean test, I mean test. Go poke at it with a stick and see what bites. You know what I mean? Think of it in boxing. I hit you with a jab. I don't hit you full force. Just to see how you react. Looking for 81 and a half. Hey, Patty, how are you? What's going on in the room, guys? All the people on YouTube are asking questions. Yes, well, that's true too, right? Now that's your common sense kicking in, brother. You interpret it as don't buy the initial bounce, but wait for it to. Exactly. Your trade has to be wrapped around a process where your risk is built into it, right? That's why you want to sometimes let the market go and test, let other people get eaten up, and then you trade after. You know what I mean? Right? The market is not a thing that you need to go first. Right? You don't need to be first to make money. Right? It's like you go for a walk, you come up to a creek, and everybody wants to go jump in the creek, but you don't know if there's gators in the creek, right? Maybe let a few people go first. Keyword smart, right, Derek? Use smart instead of patient. Because when you tell people to be patient, they hate that. I replace the word patient with smart. You want to be smart money or do you want to be the sucker dumb money? Sucker dumb money swings at every pitch, jumps at every opportunity, any shiny object, right? Those are suckers. Don't be a sucker, be smart, right? As soon as you tell people to be patient, what do? They jump in with both feet. That's good, Patty. Yeah, the lows are climbing on the 1 minutes, aren't they? Right? What's going on, AZS? Make them move this thing. There we go. Right? Nice one. Right? Grabbed a little here, right where it said sellers. I'm selling them at 82. I'll just sell into strength, and I'm flat. Oh. Yeah, let somebody else be brave. Nice trade, Kunj. Now you're cooking with gas. 77 to 81, beautiful. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Keep it up. Keep it up. Where's VWAP, Moran? Oh, why does it feel like Friday? Oh. Promise me something, folks. Next August, we'll all be somewhere on a beach instead of in front of the screens. Thanks, guys. 81 quarter. Yeah, promise me next end of month in August. We just got to find somebody who's got a big boat, right? Yeah, we just need to have a friend of a friend who has one of those big super yachts, right? All right. If you're long, you're looking for sellers at 83 and a quarter. Not saying we got to go buy one. That's too expensive. We just need to befriend somebody who will get us on one. What's even better, Troy, is getting one for free. Free is good, Troy. Free stock, free yachts, free helicopters, right? Free limos. Free is better, brother. Free is the only way to fly. Nice trade, AZS. Way to get dark with it, OJ. Way to get dark. Right? You're not in Brentwood anymore, OJ. Okay? Looking for 85 if we stay over 82. You know what? Steve's smart. He hangs out with those Palm Beach fun guys, and they all have yachts. So he gets to go to all those yacht parties for free. That's the best way to do it. Need to move to Florida. Looking for 83. Come on, let's go. There's 83. Tag. See, what I do is really simple. I just draw a line where the sellers initiated the last time. And when the market gets back to that area, pretty much they're going to step in and sell again. If they sold there before, they'll sell again. That's why I'm calling out these numbers and it's hitting them. There's nothing magical about it. It's just the way the business works. Now let's see if we can hold that 77, 78 area on the way down. So now when a market If you're short, put your stop above 81 and a half. Oh, God, come on. You can sell off for more than 1 minute, you dirty pig. Look at that. Come on. See how brutal that is? Just when I thought we could get down to 77 off the 80s. Right? Greedy bastard. Come on, now sell. Sell. Get in there and sell. I like two-sided markets, right? I don't know, Juice. I grew up in Canada. The beach never gets old for me. I'll put in 20, 30 years at a beach. Beats minus 35. See, look at these greedy bastards. They're not willing to sell it any lower. Come on now. This chop is a little unpredictable. Yeah, it'd be nice to actually get a little lower, right? If we stay above 82, look for 83 to fold. Let's see if those 83 sellers are still there. And if they are, how aggressive are they? Oh, see? Walked right through 83 this time. But now they're going to come back and tap down the bids. If there's enough buyers, they'll raise price. No, they're letting it go over 83, but they're going to come in and sell. Right? Now let's see if we hold 81. This is like ultra choppy, right? And I don't blame you if you don't feel like trading it just yet. Right? This might be one of the choppier month ends that we've had in a while. Ooh. Watching 81 to see if it holds. And if it doesn't hold, come all the way back down to 78, 79. See, every time I think about taking a short on a look above and fail of 81, if I'm not speed shorting it, like really hitting it fast and hard and covering quick, by the time I go to put my hand on the mouse, I miss the trade. It's a fairly big candle for a 1 minute candle. Let's see if we can get a balance going. Some bids at 78. Jeez. Okay, sellers under 81 now. Let's see if that lasts. There's no follow through yet. It's not like buyers are buying and then following through at higher prices. And it's not like sellers are following through at lower prices. So what we're doing is we're sort of building a little mini balance here. right in that area. All of that overnight inventory is here, right? So that's why when we come up to this level, there's resistance because not everybody's sold. There's some people who are still trapped long here. Now, when it gets really choppy like this, unless I can find a proper balance zone that we can trade back and forth, it's got to stay in place long enough so it proves itself out. Otherwise, it's hard to trade, right? If we take the A high, it'll start triggering stops and we'll go up to 85 and a half. There is a seller at 82 and a quarter right now. And they're competing. So, whoa, there we go. Now that's an aggressive seller, right? Month end, unpredictable order flow, okay? Right? Somebody just needed to get out of a position. Yeah, that's all that is, Derek, is somebody needs, I used to do it all the time, right? I got size to sell, and I come in and I just whack it out, right? Maybe I'm long 52 to 44, and I'm like, okay, I'll just get out now, start the weekend, right? Could be a sellout, could be anything, right? There we go. Follow through on the second candle, right? Let's go test that low, Sadiq. Let's see. Now, if they stop short on that low, I'm going to get pissed off. Right? If they stop short at 72, I'm going to get really pissed. Oh, boy. Yeah, look, you got to have a sense of humor in this business. Otherwise, you all get ulcers and heart attacks. And they stop short. 6 point sell off. Call the newspapers. See, there's no follow through. That was a stray order, right? The problem is when you build a market up with so many short positions underneath it, when it sells off, it sticks, right? It sticks, and that's the worst part. Because if you weren't short at 82, right, if it stabilizes here, it'll just rip back up. We need to take out 72. It's close, Raj. The overnight low is just a few ticks underneath value area high. Right? So it's just distribution of yesterday's product. Let's hope it does, Derek. Right now, I don't see it. I don't see any sellers yet until we maybe get to 78 and a half, 78 and a quarter. Okay, there's a seller. I like liquidation, right? Because you get better price action when a market liquidates. Yeah, we're right in the middle of this zone, so there's no business for me to do right now except just chill out and wait for my next trade. because this order book, I've been trading for 33 years, and I've traded literally thousands of stocks. I've never seen an order book this thin, or that I've never seen an order book that has the capability of getting this thin this quick than these futures markets these days. Like in microseconds, it'll go from 100 aside to 6 contract aside. So it looks like we got a rotation yet. Let's see if we get a seller at 82 again. Of course, it's because of bots and algos. They allow the market to be much more efficient than it ever has been. See, because if I had bids in, buy orders in, and I saw a big seller, I'd have to go and manually pull those bids, right? So I don't get hit. But if I have software that does it for me, it happens in microseconds. It's fast. It's fantastic. What's up, Slicey man? Yes, everyone's focusing on NVIDIA. How is NVIDIA? Let's see what leather jacket guy is up to. 1 second. 180. There's a seller in NVIDIA here. NVIDIA's got like a 184 seller, right? Let's see if it can crack that today. Yeah, so right now we're just in a rotation. No. There's no reason to move above the Jackson Hole pump just yet, Troy. Because that pump wasn't actually legislation, right? It was, yeah, we're open to doing this. So it's not like we've officially done it. Know what I mean? Now we're stuck. This is a market where you take what you can get, don't give anything back, and don't keep your hand in the cookie jar for too long. It'll get better after next week. People will start coming back from holidays, right? There's nothing wrong with panhandling and trading, OJ. There's nothing wrong with a couple of points here, a couple of points there. It adds up. I know people who have become millionaires just from scalping, right? Because back in the day, all the hot shots at my firm, when they blew themselves up, they'd always go to the guys who scalped to borrow money. Because those guys always had cash. They always had cash. Okay, what's next here? Oof. This is a slow market, folks. Remember, don't get sucked into this price action. Take only the trades that fit the way you do business. You don't have to take it if it doesn't fit. Right? A billion liquid? No, I'm just a regular citizen. I'm just a regular Joe now, Derek. Just a regular guy who used to work in the factory. That's all. Oh boy. Anybody still awake? VWAP is like the goalie. It's not letting anybody get by. Slow creep higher now. Like the Monopoly man. I always wanted a top hat. Okay. Here's B period. What can you do for me lately, as Janet Jackson would say. Looking for 83 half. Come on, market. We got paying customers here. Gotta do something. Jeez. Wow. Well, we keep waiting. That's the smartest thing I've heard all day, JR. That is the smartest thing I've heard all morning. It's just to take the week off, come back on Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, let's hope it after 10:30 it sells off, Derek, because we need some liquidation. Oh boy. Hey, Seeker, how are you? We're doing okay. We're trying to keep people entertained. You know, we're trying to keep people entertained in one of the slowest, most boring markets. You know, keep folks entertained when they should be at the beach. Anything going on in equity land? You know, ever since I started doing this vacation thing, vacations are kind of addictive. Very good, Matt. Sat out, didn't lose your money. Beautiful. Yeah, but that's good work that you've done. Great discipline, Matt. Nicely done. That's very cool, my friend. Exercising discipline is so much easier said than done. Nicely done. For me right now, exercising discipline is trying to stay awake. Sorry. You guys aren't that talkative either. You know, when it's slow like this, we're here to keep each other awake. You know? You're going to the spa. Well, isn't that fancy? But you're not taking us with you, Nick? Yeah, the price action. Well, it's month end. Oh, wife's birthday. Oh, okay. Well, good. That's good, man. You enjoy that. Well done. Alexander, behave yourself. It's a family-friendly room. Don't get me in trouble. Don't want to end up like Don Cherry, getting canceled. Okay, now we're above VWAP. Boy. Okay, the algos have gone on smoke break already. This is nuts. Yeah, definitely got to start taking off month end. The next set of stops, folks, is at 85 and a half. If we can creep up there. Here we go. Come on. Let's go, Mr. Market. Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks, Patty Lou. There we go. There's 85 and a half. Took us a whole half an hour, but we got there. Now what are we going to do? That's true. Ah, good point, Kunj. There you go. Now you're thinking like a villain. Nice. I like the way you're thinking now. That's good. And it's true. Before long weekends, we really like to goose prices if you can, especially if the other sellers are not around. See you tomorrow, Sadiq. Hope you're enjoying your vacation. Excuse me. Okay, so looking at the top of this profile, okay, we had, oh, we took out that stop by one tick. The close is up here at 87. The point of control of the overnight is up here. And there has been a constant seller here at 88, 88 and a half all night. If we take this area out, right, here are the upper stops. So the upper stops are at 64.90, 64.91 and 3/4. Okay, 64.95 and 1/4, 64.96 half. Okay. Then the next big stop is 65.02 and a half, or no, 3/4, and that is the all-time high. So just in case, if this thing takes out 64.96, 97, that's an area of interest. Not saying that we're going to do it, but what this market is doing, and not on purpose, it's just because it's the type of business going on. What it's doing is it's taking people and kind of faking them out because the price action seems so slow, right? The price action is so slow and so weak looking that it's kind of almost daring you to short it. You know what I mean? And when you go to short it, kapow. Next thing it's higher, right? It's very tricky price action. Uh, yeah, it lullabies you to sleep, and then pow, it comes and hits you. And very frustrating. Yeah, it's like Lucy holding the football. Very similar, my friend. Very similar. Right? Now, if you're a gun to your head trader and you have to trade, you kind of have to build a position and wait to see if that position works out. Right? And we've done courses and lessons on building positions. Oh, man. Do you see how that there was, I marked a seller earlier, right? I marked a seller at 85 and 1/4, and look, they're back. So what happens is people get used to the fact that there's a seller there, and they keep shorting against it and shorting against it, and when it breaks, they have to race to cover. That's what's going on. In Globex, you mentioned about building a position is the only way to trade this market. Have you been doing it tonight? I've been scalping Patty Lou. I did not trade much at all during Globex. Actually, I didn't trade at all. If I don't know, I might have taken once, but I took along here, I've taken a couple of trades on RTH. There you go, Alex. I saw your message, Alex. I'll let me know when you want to do a phone call. Slowly creeping up. Let's see if we can take the high from yesterday. Would I hold overnight? Good God, Patty, no. Not at 20 grand a contract. No, 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 no. That's why, Patty, I like to trade quick, in and out. So if the market's really choppy, most of the times I just won't trade. I'll go do something else, you know? I really like the way I make money in this market. It's kind of stress-free because you know you're wrong very quickly, right? I don't hold positions overnight, ever. Not in a market that's news sensitive. Does that make sense? Some knucklehead launches a missile, right? Yes, I was right to scold you when you went to sleep with an ES position open. I'm old, Patty, so I'm paranoid. What happens if you went to sleep with an open position and some news came out and your stop didn't get executed and you weren't awake and you woke up and your account was empty? To be fair, it's 1 micro. But to be also fair, I've tried to teach you discipline and good work ethic, right? So you don't want to start building bad habits and saying it's only 1 micro. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I teach you guys stuff, it's trying to instill good habits so you don't get sloppy. Because if you start getting away with that stuff, eventually you are going to go bankrupt. You know? I just come from a culture and a business where if people make mistakes, other people lose their jobs. And I know it's different in retail trading. You guys don't have that on the line. It's only your personal money. But I have a philosophical and a moral thing where I just hate watching people lose money. When I see people lose money unnecessarily, it, to excuse the language, it gets in my craw and it just bugs me. Especially when there's no need to just senselessly lose money, right? That's why I'm a bit, you know, like a drill sergeant when it comes to risk, right? It's just the way I was raised. right? So we ran the stops over the previous day high, haven't taken out the overnight high. We still have those sellers at 87, 88, right? These futures markets are very sensitive to news, especially in an algorithmic electronic execution environment. All it takes is one news headline, the order book empties out, somebody moves 4,000 contracts at nighttime, and oh my God, it's brutal. Now, we still have 11 minutes left in this half hour period. So now we're going to distribute, right? There we go. Looking for 64.90. There's 64.90. And then if this cracks, be looking for 94 and a quarter, right? So now the position is underneath us, right? For yesterday, the day before, right? So our next line in the sand is up here, right? We will skyhook until we run out of buyers, then we'll distribute, Miami, right? Drive the truck as far as you can, as high as price will allow, and then we find a nice place to lose all that inventory that we got underneath 82, right? The more stops we can take, the more buying we can create, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah, all we've done is short squeeze, haven't we? Ever since COVID, right? We might get a week or two of selling here and there just to reset the cost basis, and then boom, right back at it again. Right? What does that guy, the old turkey, say in reminiscence of a stock operator? Well, it is a bull market, you know. Right? So these last couple of this last big green candle, that's everyone who's short underneath 86 coming in to try and cover at the same time. So once again, we had liquidation for one day, and what were the clues? Well, the clues were we didn't fill the single prints, right? We couldn't get down to 64.28. Looked before low 48 and right back up, right? Hmm. Yeah, we did. Hey, Renee, how you doing? Exactly, I am listening. It's quite interesting how the business repeats itself, eh? Now let's see if we hold the overnight high. And if we come down, look for bids at 87.5. The market is simple, but execution is a lifelong process. You know, it's like my friends who play golf. They're always complaining about their golf game. Sometimes they golf like, like Tiger Woods, and then sometimes they're like total chumps out there. And that's what execution is like. Sometimes you'll be totally in step with the market. Sometimes you won't be able to trade your way out of a wet paper bag. So the big thing is, on those days that are difficult, keep your size down, keep your number of trades down, right? And just chill. Every trader goes through bad times. Sometimes you just can't see the market. Sometimes your timing is off. Sometimes, things aren't going well at home. You're fighting with your wife or your girlfriend. Your kids are sick. Life gets in the way. So you have to, when that kind of stuff happens, protect your capital until you're at a stage where you can execute your business plan every day like a regular business. You have to train yourself up to that, right? Don't worry, it'll happen. It just takes time. Don't ever trade sick. Don't trade angry. Don't trade drunk. Don't drink and trade. Might sound glamorous, but I've never really seen it work out. Yeah, it's really been a grind up over the last couple of days. Gosh. Yes, I'm the old man now, Patty. Right? I've always talked like an old man. Now my age is finally caught up with my mouth. Right? I just don't want you guys to get hurt. Maybe I'm a little overprotective. Yeah, those heavy. Well, brokers. Remember, brokers would always go to lunch and come back a little soused, and you could mess with their orders. Miami. Remember the good old days? In the old days, brokers would take clients to lunch. That doesn't happen anymore. And when they used to do that, we would mess with their orders and their book, right? It'd be like, oh, lunchtime, great. Let's screw with this guy's account. Yeah, good times. They come back from lunch, and what happened to my market? Oh, well, caught a stray order. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, folks, I want to thank you for hanging out with me on this another really slow day prior to the end of the month. If you'd like to learn how to trade in a practical, friendly environment, come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. We've got a sale going, and for Labor Day, check it out. We'll also help you with those funded trader accounts. If you need any help, reach out. I am around. I'm JJ vwaptrader1 on X, and we are thetradingsyndicate.org. Thank you for hanging out with us and being patient in this horrible chop. Hopefully you learned something. Now go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning as we end and wrap up the last week of the summer. I can't believe I'm saying it's the last week of summer already. It feels like August just started. Time's going way too fast. Thanks, folks. See you tomorrow. Be safe out there, okay? Appreciate you guys. Bye for now.